On this channel, I've done several videos where I've shown you how to actually turn your strategy, your trading strategy, into an automated trading system. I've shown you how easy it can be, and for free. And for free, you don't need to pay anything. Of course, some of the tools, well, you might need to pay. For example, FX Dreamer, you can only make Forex robots for MT4 for free. But if you want to make them for MT5, you need to pay a small fee. But there are also other platforms that you can actually use to turn your strategy into an automated trading system for free. Watch the videos on this channel after this video. So the question that I actually got following those videos by somebody was, should they use these free EA builders, or should they use these EA builders, or should they learn to code themselves? Should they go ahead and learn MQL4, MQL5 coding instead of relying on EA builders? What are your thoughts? I think I've been in several forums as well where people actually look down on people who use EA builders. There are some serious coders, serious programmers who are like fluent in MQL4, MQL5. And I've seen how they take people who use EA builders as an insult. So somebody is asking, should they use or rely on EA builders, or should they learn MQL5, MQL4 coding? What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comment section below before I give you my thoughts on that. By the way, if you are new on this channel, please consider subscribing so that you do not miss future videos. Go ahead and like the video. That's the only thing that I will ever ask you to do. I don't ask you to buy anything from me. I don't sell you anything. Everything that we do on this channel is for free. If you don't learn anything, well, at least you got some entertainment. If you are looking to download stuff, Forex robots, indicators, books, and stuff like that, there are links in the description box below. Visit those links and see if you cannot find what you are looking for. People also ask me about the brokers that I use. See the link in the description box below. So getting back to the subject for today, should you rely on EA builders, or should you learn MQL4, MQL5 coding languages? Yes, like I said, I've seen programmers and coders on the Meta Codes forums, MQL forums, where they basically take it as an insult when somebody comes there, post their code, and they're asking for questions or some direction or concerning something. And the moment that they identify that the code was generated from an EA builder, they basically shut down or shut the person down, because they look down on people who basically rely on EA builders. But does it mean EA builders are bad? I think it's a situation where, for example, I always talk about the other business that I do. I'm involved in web development as well. I think it's kind of a similar situation where, for example, nowadays there are tools that can help anybody to come up with a brilliant website, a nice website. For example, you can simply go to WordPress and you can quickly do your own website for a business, for a blog, for anything. But the traditional route is to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and stuff like that. Does it mean that people who are using tools like WordPress, and there are so many website builders, Wix, and stuff like that, Does it mean that they are terrible? That the only true web developers are people who know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and stuff like that? I think it's the same question here for me. Does it mean that EA builders are bad? People should learn MQL4, MQL5 coding languages. Personally, I think it has to do with the person's circumstances and what they need to accomplish. If they can accomplish it with an EA builder, for me, it's all good and fine. If they can accomplish it with actually sitting down and writing every line for their forex robot, for their automated trading system in MQL4, MQL5, it's still fine with me. Of course, there are some points that you probably need to note. For example, if you are going to use EA builders, just like somebody who is going to choose to use WordPress, for example, you understand that you are being given a sort of template which you might not have full control over. You are being given like blocks to use to build the thing that you want to build, but you have little control over how those blocks will look, how they will work, and stuff like that. So you're just being handed blocks, and you just have to put the blocks together, and you come up with the thing that you want. That's the deal with EA builders. They've just basically done the coding for you. So you just basically taking the blocks and putting them together, and you come up with your automated trading robot. It doesn't mean it does not work. It works. It's just that the problem also is you are getting, for example, a more general thing that's meant to fit in every situation. And you really need to kind of understand some coding, at least some MQL4, MQL5, in order to really get into the code that you generate with that EA builder in order to be able to change it. So, with the example of web development again, even if you are using WordPress, you might just need to understand a little bit of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Just when things break down or when things do not really look the way that you want them to look or work the way that you want them to work, you can easily like get in and just see if you can tweak it a bit. You don't really need to know the intricacies of everything. You don't need to understand the loops. You don't want to understand all these concepts in MQL4, MQL5. But just know if it's supposed to, for example, buy at moving average cross and it's actually selling at moving average cross. So where is the problem? Where can you go and tweak and make sure that it actually does what you want? Then the other problem with EA builders also, because they are just they are like they are already built and handed to you, is sometimes they also come with junk code. They do come with a lot of code that's just junk that does not really do anything. But for people who are like people who understand code, who like their things clean, and is like it's a terrible way to develop something. So there's this thing of junk code that comes with EA builders. Why? Because they are just built and programmed to fit a general need. Anybody with any need can just go in there and find what they are looking for. So they do come with a lot of junk code that you might not really need for the strategy that you have. Now, turning to MQL4, MQL5, you must understand that it's also hard because I understand why people get insulted when people post the code that they've generated from EA builders. because some of these guys have spent many years or many months learning MQL5, MQL4, understanding how it works, the ins and outs, and stuff like that. Then you just come in and you just post your code that you just like in a few clicks you generated the code. So they kind of feel insulted. But we must also understand that people have got different needs. There are people who are happy to just drive a car. They don't really care about the understanding what's happening in the engine. They don't care about understanding the torque, about the horsepower. What they just want to do is to just drive their car. Then there are people who really want to go into the engine. They want to pick it apart and they want to analyze everything, how this part is moving, how to improve the efficiencies and stuff like that. Those people probably likely want to learn MQL5, MQL4 coding. But if you are just happy with going to a dealership and getting your car and drive it, then simply you can easily use these EA builders. That's why I said I think it depends on circumstances and what the person needs. Of course, using EA builders, you might want to understand a bit of MQL4, MQL5, but you don't really need it if you are not that person who really want to understand the intricacies of how this is working, how this is doing what it's doing, and stuff like that. If you just want to turn your strategy into an automated trading system in a few seconds, I think you are the right candidate for EA builders. But if you really want to have that much control over how everything is moving, how everything is working, then you definitely fall in the category of people who really need to study MQL4, MQL5 coding. So that's my 2 cents on the subject. Somebody asked me, yeah, is it worth it to use EA builders or should they go and learn MQL5, MQL4 coding? That's my 2 cents on that. It depends on your personality, depends on your circumstances. And let's understand that EA builders are convenient. You can easily watch the videos on this channel. You can easily just go in there with a few clicks. You generate your automated trading system or robot. MQL4, MQL5, you really need to dedicate quite some time, maybe a year or so, just to learn, or maybe a few months, depending on your learning capability, and just to learn the concepts and how to actually write every code of the robot. The advantage of learning MQL4, MQL5 on your own is also that it opens you up to many more opportunities. It opens you up to many opportunities. For example, there are many people who have got good strategies and people that want to automate those strategies so that they can sell them or that they can just keep them. So I always tell people that the forex programmers, the coders, they always get the best strategies for free. That's one way to get forex strategies for free, because people will come to you. Of course, you might want to sign non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that, but there's nothing preventing you from using that same robot that you have developed for your client for yourself if it's good enough. So the advantage is if you know how to code in MQL4, MQL5, it means that people are going to pay you to write their robots. But you are also going to get a chance of what? Free access to some of the world's best trading strategies, trading styles, trading concepts. People come to you, you charge them to write their robots, yet you also get to keep a copy of their robot and you can use it in your own trading. So those are just some of the things that you just need to consider. Otherwise, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe, like this video. Until next time, bye.